Hi, today we're looking at a shoe that could help you to a new PB. It's the new Brooks Hyperion Elite 4 PB. Now, at first glance, apart from the new colour update, it looks very similar to the Hyperion Elite 4 without the PB letters on the end of it. And the difference is this shoe features the new DNA Gold midsole foam, and this is a PIBA foam. So it's not a nitrogen fused material that Brooks have used previously, it's new PIBA. So it kind of brings us a shoe from Brooks in the racing shoe line that we've been wanting for many years. They've kind of stuck with nitrogen infused materials for the last couple of seasons, and they've been okay, but they haven't had that soft, springy, responsive nature of a lot of the competition. Well, this is the one. This brings the shoe right up to date, and I guess they've just added those PB initials because it is somewhat of a stepping stone between the existing 4 and the new Hyperion Elite 5 that we'll see in autumn. And we've seen sneak previews online, not exactly leaked, but we've seen images of the Hyperion Elite 5, and that is going to be a much softer, super light, springy, responsive racing shoe, and if it sees similar improvements over the 4 PB, similar to the 4 PB is over the 4, another step ahead, then it should be a very good shoe. So let's have a look at the stats on the Elite 4 PB edition, and then we'll dive into how it performs. So the Hyperion Elite 4 PB from Brooks weighs in, it's a unisex model, comes in at 7.2 ounces, around 204 grams. Stack height in the heel 40 millimeters, we've got an 8 millimeter drop, 32 millimeters in the forefoot. It's a neutral cushion shoe, max cushioned at 40 mil, still World Athletics legal. Fits true to size, pricing $250 in the US, £200 in the UK. And as I say, it's a PIBA based foam. It feels much softer and kind of more responsive and springier on the foot straight away as soon as you pull it on. You've also got this super breathable upper. The first run I did in these shoes was a park run, Saturday morning, at the coast. Very, very windy. We'll come on to that in a little moment, but the wind was positively blowing through the shoe. It is really breathable. I've never been one to kind of go into too much detail about shoes being breathable. I've never really come back from a run and thought my feet were exceptionally hot. But yeah, if you are one of those people that likes breathable shoes, this is the racer for you. It goes straight through it. Very open mesh, single layer, kind of engineered mesh, or would we call that a knitted or woven construction? But literally, I mean, you can see my hand through it. There is nothing in there. So it's single layer, very, very breathable all the way through the shoe. Tongue, minimal padding on the tongue here, just where you fasten the laces, and a little bit of ankle collar padding through there. Very minimal, really. It is a little bit better made than the previous editions. This kind of suede or micro suede ankle collar lining, it doesn't rub, there's no issues there. It does come a little bit higher. You do have to make sure, if you don't, when you push your foot in, that you don't crease it over, but get it nice and flat around the shoe. You should be taking care when you're fastening up racing shoes, you know, if you're going for a PB. So no issues there, really. Laces are these stay tied, knotted laces, and they work really well. Always tuck the laces under, you know, some of the crisscross early down, and they're never going to come undone. Okay, midsole, it's soft and responsive, but it's also got the Speed Vault carbon plate in there as well. Now this works, you can see the kind of crisscross web-like design to it. The idea is, I guess these fingers are strands spread out through the forefoot like so, and because of the way it's engineered, manufactured, you get a similar performance regardless of size. So small sizes, smaller webbed fingers, larger sizes, you know, so it's very size specific. So it should suit a lot of people in the same manner. You've not got just one carbon plate that bends in a certain position. So it is going to suit a lot of people. It's not mega stiff. There is a little bit of bend in there, but I think it's just right. Now, I wouldn't say this is a marathon shoe for me personally. It's not very soft, but there's a nice racer shoe kind of feel to it. I didn't mind the previous Hyperion Elite 4 with the DNA flash nitrogen injected foam in it, and it kind of reminded me, because I've been running a long time really, 40 years, but old school racing shoes that were just light, minimalist and quite firm, so gave you really got a feel of the ground on toe off. Now the previous model felt like that. This elevates it a little bit. It's a little bit softer, a little bit more comfortable, but you still get quite an aggressive feel, push off of the ground. And for shorter distances, my first run in them was a 5K, it just felt fantastic. I don't think I would push it to marathon, or perhaps not even half marathon for me personally. I think you get the best out of this shoe if you've got a very smooth, neutral and efficient gait and you put a lot of power through your stride. Example being Josh Kerr, Fifth Avenue Mile. He was wearing this shoe. He is a strong, powerful miler, world champion. So, he certainly is efficient enough to get the most from it. Can a miler and a marathon runner wear the same shoe as effectively? Elite marathoners, yes. You and I, the regular consumer, perhaps not, but that doesn't make it a bad shoe. We can have a shoe for shorter races, and a lot of us only do 5 and 10Ks. So for the shorter distances, absolutely fine, kind of explosive and a real nice fit and feel. The fit, true to size, very snug and wraps around the midfoot closely, fits like a track spike. So it does fit and feel like a fast shoe as soon as you put it on. So I think that adds an element of a competitive nature to it. It's just a nice fit and you feel fast. First run I did in it was a park run. I jogged a mile, warm up, felt really nice. At jogging speed, it was cool, no discomfort, nicely balanced as well. A lot of racing shoes feel terrible when I'm kind of going like 8 minutes, 10-minute mile, just shuffling. This felt absolutely really balanced, very, very well, The race itself was an out and back 5K, so just over a mile and a half out, spin around the corner and back again. And the wind was into our face on the way out. So I tucked in the pike, we settled down, and I was like outside 10 minutes at the turnaround. But I knew as soon as the wind was at my back, I was going to pick up the pace, and that would be a real tester for it. And honestly, the wind was at my back, but the wind did play a big part. It was amazing. I've never felt wind like that blowing me down the road, but it did push me up onto my toes and all the way back. My stride felt so strong and powerful, part of that coming from the shoe, but it really gave me a sense of the fact that the amount of energy I was putting into the shoe, I was getting back from it as well. So that's why I say it felt great at 5K. I don't think I could have sustained that more than 10K. I think you have to be putting power through this type of shoe. But for 5K, lightweight, responsive, nice degree of spring to it, not too soft. You don't want to be kind of sinking into it. In a marathon, you do want to sink into the shoe a little bit as well as that response. It wants to take a bit of the impact out of your legs. So you want a shoe that feels soft and smooth throughout the duration, 2.5 hours plus. But for this shoe, just enough degree of squidge, just sank into it, but then pop, it had a real explosive feel to it. So my 5K shoe for the coming season, once I've done my my marathon in the springtime, I'll be running in this in the spring and going into the summer, and looking forward to the Hyperion Elite V5. So here it is, Hyperion Elite 4 PB from Bucks. If you want a light, fast, relatively aggressive type shorter distance road racing shoe, I think it's one to check out. Okay, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. It really does help. Any questions, fire them below and I will always do my best to answer. Good luck, and fingers crossed, you'll get a PB too.